Three, two, one, go.
In all honesty, the story in Kane Lynch is absolutely pretty piss poor. Kane Lynch 2 Dog Days reunites our favorite anti-heroes, Kane and Lynch, but now this time in Shanghai, where Kane is meeting up with Lynch for some type of deal that you really never know too much about, but suffice to say, things go wrong, somebody ends up dying, the person who died happened to be a daughter of somebody high up, and all of a sudden the entire Chinese army is after you, and it's up to Kane and Lynch to basically get out of the shithole that they find themselves in. In my opinion, like I've already said, it's not necessarily a great story. I really enjoy these characters, and I think that they're very intriguing, but the plot overall doesn't really do justice to how interesting these characters are. What do you personally think of the story?
I think it's pretty trash. I mean, it's not that boring, mostly because you have actually pretty decent characters. They're very interesting, but you don't really get much character development for people that die and stuff. You don't really feel sad for someone that dies or something, or someone that gets hurt. You just don't really feel bad for stuff. Because there is one character that gets killed, and you're like, oh, that's sad. But I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, it's cheesy, it's obvious, and all the little twists they have in here is a little stupid. Like, they have like one real twist, and it's right in the beginning, like you said, is the daughter thing, and that's the twist, and they're pretty much screwed after that. So I just thought the plot was boring overall. So let's just go on to the sound. Okay, now the sound in Kane Lynch 2 is actually, I have to admit, pretty decent. Now the gun effects I thought and the little sound effects here and there aren't very good. I mean, they all kind of sound the same, like the shotgun, bang, bang, bang. It never sounded different. The machine gun, bang, bang, bang. It's just, I'm doing a better job with sound effects, by the way. But all those are mediocre. But I thought the voice acting was really good. Now, you don't really get much voice acting, mostly because the story's very short. And like my friend Tyler, he couldn't hear the voice acting most of the time. But overall, I thought the sound was pretty decent, just not great. And now the graphics. The graphics are pretty good overall. I like the presentation of it. I love the camcorder style where it's like a guy's pretty much behind Kane and Lynch while he's watching them kill people with a camcorder. Every time someone gets killed, it blurs out their face or something. A little cool little camcorder style. I thought it was really cool. So overall, I thought the graphics, the environments, the character models were pretty decent overall. So what did you think about sound and graphics?
Well, I'm gonna agree and disagree. I'm gonna agree with the fact that I like the voice acting a lot, especially Kane and Lynch. But the only problem with the voice acting is you don't get much of it, especially because the campaign's only 4 hours long. They really don't flesh out these characters that we've already talked about in the story. But what I'm gonna disagree with is that I really felt that the guns felt authentic and very powerful, and I think that the way that they sounded added to how well that they actually felt when you were shooting them. That might just be me, but that's how I felt about the sound. As far as the graphics go, completely agreed. This is a very unique and interesting visual style that nobody's ever done before, and I thought that it really immersed me into the world, which was, in my opinion, pretty doggone, attractive. And I liked Shanghai, and everything that they had to do with the presentation I thought was exceptionally well done.
Okay, now the gameplay in Kane and Lynch 2, I have to admit, I didn't really like it all that much. Really, mostly because it's very, very mediocre. I thought the aiming wasn't that great. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. I mean, it was okay. Let's say that. It was okay. But it got really boring after some time. Sure, the game is short, so it doesn't go and make you want to commit suicide because you have to play this whole 8-hour game. It's only 4 hours, which is pretty good. Pretty good if you rented it, maybe not bought it, because then you'd be screwed if you don't want to play multiplayer. And I just thought there was just so much shooting. I just didn't want to shoot. I wanted a puzzle or something. I know it would have been out of place. I don't care. Get Lara Croft or Lara Croft, however you say it, and get some puzzles in here. Get freaking Nathan Drake. I just want some puzzles and platform or something. I don't care. It'll be out of place. I don't care if they turn into a cartoon. I just want something different than freaking broken cover system, aiming, getting killed too fast, your freaking AI partner's a retard, and all this stuff. I just thought it was not very good. It broke the game for me, because I was liking everything else, not fantastically, but I was like, it's passable. But now the gameplay really ruined it for me, so what did you think of the gameplay?
I like the gameplay, but it's nothing necessarily to brag about. I mean, in my opinion, at least the guns, like I said already, pack a punch, and I thought that they felt good. And I thought that the cover system was actually serviceable and was actually did what it was supposed to do. But you're right in the sense that it is a very repetitive game. I think that I've played the game twice now, and I hit the 1,000 kill marker, which gave you an achievement after like maybe a playthrough and a half. So you're killing enemies nonstop. It's just a very brainless game. You know, it's run and gun, just nonstop violence, and it, like you said, it becomes repetitive. And I think that that's a problem with the game. But what I want to talk about is actually the multiplayer, which, as kind of a trend with Kane and Lynch, Kane and Lynch is something very unique, not only with the camera style, but also in its Fragile Alliance multiplayer game mode. You know, it's just a game mode that you've never seen before, and it's something that, while not the most well implemented or balanced game mode ever created, it's trader dynamic, where, you know, at any given point in time, somebody can become a trader and steal more of the loot for themselves. It is something that is easily enjoyable to just get into and pick up and play, and I really enjoyed it. So that's what I have to say about the gameplay.
All right, sweet, go.
So as far as my final thoughts on Kane Lynch 2 goes, it's a very simplistic game that doesn't offer a lot of content because it's got a 4 hour long campaign and there's only 6 different multiplayer levels. But what it has to offer is definitely worthy of a rental, in my opinion. I think that it's fun while it lasts, and for those of you who actually enjoy the rental, hey, it might be worth a pickup for the multiplayer alone. So I'd give it a 8 out of 10.
Well, now this is where I'm going to disagree because I just the gunplay was so mediocre that I just thought after 3.5 hours I was like, I hope this game is short because I just wanted it to end. And then I was on the last mission. I was like, sweet. So I'll give it a 5.3 out of 10. So yeah. Any final thought? Any final words?
A 5 out of 10 is pretty atrocious.
I said 5.3.
Oh, okay. That makes it completely different.
Okay, yeah. All right. Thank you. Bye.